Minister, I know that you have had a meeting to go to and you've just deferred that to be here, so I want to thank you for that. Somewhere in Ireland today, tomorrow, next week, a family will get the same message we got. And I remember Rebecca was 19 at the time, and her maxillofacial surgeon did not want to tell her what the diagnosis was after the biopsy. And he rang me. And I went home to Helen, my wife, and I said, we've got to go and see the surgeon. And we knew the news was bad. Rebecca, hearing us whispering, came in and she said, I'm over 18. And whatever news I've got to get, I'll get it myself. And I know her surgeon will tell you she's a feisty woman when she decides to take on things. And we went and we got the diagnosis and we brought her to St. James's Hospital for surgery. And on the morning we brought her into the theatre, the surgeon said to my wife and myself, speak to her now because she may never speak again. And I cannot tell you the impact that had. And then she came out of surgery totally unrecognisable because of the nature of the surgery. And I would do the late evenings and my wife would do the days. Helen would be there with her all day, every day, and woe betide anybody who wouldn't look after her. And I remember sitting one night in the hospital feeling desperately sorry for myself. And the next thing I got this croaky voice going, what's your problem? I'm the one that had the surgery. And I looked up and there was my beautiful daughter. And she gave me stick that night. But we've heard about mortality rates. This is 26 years ago. And thanks to the people sitting in the gallery there, at every turn they were there beside her. During the recovery period from the surgery, somebody referred to me today as being brave. I can tell you I ran out the door while her mother and herself absolutely went head on because she had to have liquidated food at the time while she was recovering. I couldn't take it. Rebecca was resistant, Helen was determined she would eat. And between the two of them, she travelled the recovery route. But what we're here today about is the recovery and the restoration and restoring somebody as much as you possibly can. We're talking about 556,000 euros today. It is loose change in the back pocket of the Department of Health. It is loose change in the back pocket of the HSE. On Monday morning, the chairman and CEO of the dental hospital who are here can get a phone call from the HSE saying, look, we've just signed a cheque for 556,000. And by the way, we will work with you from now on to ensure that you have adequate funding. The 4.2 million that's been sought is in order to cut down on travel. Think about it. There are people here, and most of us have family members who know what it is like to suffer from cancer and the treatment thereof. The treatment sometimes is worse than the goddamn condition. And expecting people to travel from the west of Ireland to Dublin, from the south of Ireland to Dublin for treatment is simply not on. So we must find the 4.2 million urgently. I have seen the people in Dublin Dental Hospital. I have seen Rebecca's surgeon. I'd name you, but it's inappropriate to name people in the house, so I'd get ticked off over that. But I can tell these people work on a shoestring. They commit themselves morning, noon and night to the patients they have. My beautiful daughter has twice in the last 3 years been in intensive care, totally and utterly unconscious, where we did not know whether she would survive or not because of difficulty swallowing, because that's part of oral cancer. She's still here. One of the terrible things about her is when she recovers in intensive care and you go in and visit her, she looks at you, you say, how are you? And she says, I'm planning my holiday in Lanzarote, right? And that's the way it goes. I have to thank her employer, Allied Irish Banks, who have stood with her over the years and looked after her and kept her on the staff. But most of all, I want to thank the people in the gallery who are there all the time, every time. 556,000 euros next Monday morning is not a big ask. And if we don't see it next Monday morning, as Senator Clonan said this evening, We'll be back in 6 months and 7 months and 8 months and 9 months. It's not huge money. I want to thank you, Minister, for staying the extra time. And Cathaoirleach, I want to thank you for being generous with time to wrap up. So thank you very much. And to the people in the gallery, thank you so much for being here. It shows massive solidarity with the team that are responsible for head and neck cancer in the Dublin University Hospital. We have the chairman of the board, we have the chief executive officer, and all of the senior staff. I am humbled by your attendance here today. Thank you.